A Felter's Journey with Valerie Nowak. Valerie, hello and welcome. Pardon my ignorance, but what is a felter?
Hi, so my name is Valerie Nowak O'Ceallaigh and I am a needle felter. So basically, to answer your question, I paint with wool.
Right.
So I use Irish and imported wools, and I use needles, and by punching repeatedly, the fibers combine together to make a picture, and that's how I paint with wool.
What is it depends I'm sure on the subject, the average kind of amount of time you spend on a piece?
It can be 2 hours, it can be 3 weeks. I have a picture of this horse, actually took 3 weeks. It's based on the photo of an actual horse. It was a commission. Somebody asked me to actually paint their horse with wool. And some small ones, for example.
This is beautiful, by the way.
And this is actually a present for my mentor, Louise Lonergan, who's there. This is a very small needle felted robin. I did this one because it carries a lot of meaning in Ireland for people. And it's made using the technique of needle felting.
And that took how long?
That would have taken a few hours,
Right.
about 2 hours. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about your creative background and journey.
It's pretty atypical. I firstly used to work in the corporate industry. I worked in the chemical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and then I had my children, and after this, my creative side caught up on me. So to echo Suzanne Doyle's words, if you are creative, it will happen. It'll come back. You can't get rid of it. It's part of you. It's part of who you are. And this is what happened to me. I got drawn to, I suppose after COVID, I was, like a lot of people, thinking about my life and what if I wasn't there tomorrow? Have I done what I wanted to do? Have I done what I was made to do? And the creative side came back to me. So before that, I always had an interest. When I lived in Paris, I used to be on stage. I was an actress as a hobby. Then when I arrived in Ireland, I went mad for ceramics and pottery and sculpture, but I never earned a living from it. So now I am earning a living from making this and actually teaching needle felting. I wasn't planning to teach needle felting. It's only after I did my first round of mentorship with MCM that I met Louise Lonergan. And we went through my art and we decided that in order to get a regular revenue, teaching would be the right thing to do. At the time, I remember Louise said, we looked at all the figures and I was thinking, how dare she say I'm not going to make money from my art? But honestly, Louise, thank you. Because now I am making money from my art, and on the side, you know, in a past that I didn't even think of. Louise said, like, Valerie, with your passion and your knowledge of the wool and your enthusiasm, you need to share this. You need to go into teaching. So if anybody's thinking about going on the mentorship, go for it because it's invaluable and it's free. And when you want to apply, it's only one form. You don't spend 2 hours filling it up and wait 3 weeks to get a no, you know.
So to put this in context, your first mentorship with Louise was in 2022.
Yes.
And how long did that process last for?
So it was, every mentorship is 3 sessions of 1 hour. So what I did before each session, I prepared an agenda and I sent it to Louise on saying, this is what I need help on, this is what I would like to discuss. And she kindly helped me. She had tons of experience. I think at the time I might have been living a bit in cuckoo land, you know. But it shows that it's possible. And now I'm on my second mentorship with Sinead Meany. and it's totally different. It's driven in a different way. I was so focused on the financial aspect of my work, that posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, getting the sales, getting to the markets, how do I get known, that I left very little time for my creative side. And as creatives, we need it. It's part of us. It's like breathing. And Wishing Age kind of unstuck me. And she said, Valerie, the same as the gentleman who was sitting in here said, like, it's you being you that makes this. So don't forget to nurture yourself and think about yourself, of your personality as being an advantage to it. So you need to nurture and look after yourself.
Very wise words.
Yeah.
It's horrible having to talk about money, but it does make the world go around. What supports, if any, do you get from bodies?
At the moment, I'm on the back to work enterprise allowance until August. So that brings a regular revenue, a weekly revenue. When that finishes in August, it's me and myself.
Right.
But I'm ready for it because I'm about to start teaching needle felting online. And that's all thanks to all the work that we've done with MCM and I suppose my own energy too, because we were talking with Emma O'Loughlin, and one of the things we said is you can do as many courses as you want, you can do as many course and take in information, but you need to put this into action, because you can have drawers full of notes and notebooks with what you've learned and all that, but it's only going forward and being scared and doing it. I'm shit scared of being here.
Me too.
But I'm doing it. And it was the same with everything. I was, terrified of having my first online class, and I've done it. You just have to, just tell your kids, and they have a solution. They'll tell you, you'll be fine. My daughter is in the audience, that's why I'm saying Hello. They were great support. Ellen, she's a contemporary dancer, so yeah.
Ton of interest, I was intrigued.
Yes.
Before you came to Ireland, you were acting. What kind of roles were you doing?
So it was in a small company that was in the south area of Paris, and we gave a few shows, and it was theatre, acting. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved being on the stage, and now I can't even do a WhatsApp video. I'm terrified of the online, but put me on the stage acting and it's fine.
And when did you arrive in Ireland permanently?
1998.
So like me, you've seen a few changes.
Yes, yeah. So basically, actually, I'm 26 years in Ireland, and I spent 25 years in France. So like a lot of people in this room, I presume, you kind of have to search for your identity. When I go to France, I'm the Irish one. When I'm here, I'm the French one. So you kind of, I'm a daughter of Europe. Europe is my playground, I will say. And yes, I've seen a lot of changes for good. Ireland is a brilliant country in the sense that it's very reactive to what's happening in the world. Like when we had the referendum of the gay marriage, so many people came back to Ireland to vote, and that was fantastic. Ireland is extremely versatile country with people who don't sit down and complain, oh my God, the economy is so bad. This is, okay, we do moan a bit. We all need to moan a bit, that's part of life.
A moan is good for the soul. I do it every morning.
Yeah. But Ireland is very reactive to the economy. And look, we were we had the Celtic Tiger, then we had the crisis. We didn't stay down in the crisis. Nobody, the economic crisis, we moved on, and people got resourceful and creative and found solution to their own problems. That's why I like Ireland.
You're the first felter I've met. Is there a bit of a network? Are you operating quite alone? There is a network, is there?
Yes, it's actually called Felt Makers Ireland. I didn't plan to do advertisement for them, but they'll be delighted. They'll be delighted. It's a network of felters. So there's two techniques: the needle felting and water felting. It's two different things, but if you're into wool and the use of wool, you can join the Felt Makers Ireland. It's only €25 for the membership, and there's workshops, there's talks, there are like-minded people who are dying to share their passion.
Oh, that is lovely to hear. You've got some people. And in terms, one of the cornerstones of today's conference is collaboration.
Yes.
Have you managed to collaborate with other artists from maybe outside of the felting world?
I'd love to. So I'm open for business.
I could see that maybe a gorgeous album cover, something like that. So musicians do an album cover. Here's your woman. You mentioned you're taking the workshops online, which really opens things up.
Yes.
You also mentioned some other projects going into, was it nursing homes?
Yes, I'm currently working with a group of vulnerable ladies whose age start at 70 up to 86, and I bring them joy and happiness by doing felting. Anybody can do that at any age. You just have to believe that the artist that's in you, that there is an artist in you. When you were a child, there was an artist in you. Well, bring back that child and believe that you can do it. These ladies were totally, some of them were like, I don't know how to, what are we doing with this? Like, you have a bunch of wool and you have a bunch of needle and a photo like that, and you're like, well, how am I going to make this look like that? When you get the guidance and when you believe that you can do it, you can actually do it. Yeah.
You've spoken about your two mentorships with Mind Creative Minds, with Louise and Sinead, who I think are both here today. When you were sort of starting out in your creative journey, were there other mentors? We heard about a wonderful school teacher before that inspired Suzanne.
Yes. Well, I have to mention, let's say, my English teacher, Madame Bourlet. She was my champion. Not every child get the praise that they should get at home, and she was my praising person. She was the one who believed in me, and that's probably why I took a passion and a liking to the English language, and that's probably thanks to her that I am in here. And I've encountered a lot of positive people through this journey, and as my kids said, my daughter said, like, you have a new whole life. You started a whole new life for yourself, and you can. I'm 52. I'm doing it. You can do it too. If you have a dream, don't wait, because we don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. You know? Yeah,
again, very sage-like advice. Yeah. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Yeah. You have to make a living. How do you exhibit? Would you go into galleries and shops? How does it work?
So at the moment, I found markets very successful. It's a matter of meeting your customers where they are and where they are at, and knowing what they want. That only comes with putting yourself out there. The first market I did was in Slane Castle in 2022. The first day, a lady came and said, your pictures, I had another picture where there's a lady smoking a cigarette and her boobs are actually eyes, and she looked at it and she stayed in front of my stand for 5 minutes, and she was saying, you're making smoking totally too fun, and this is bad, you shouldn't be doing this, and why are you promoting? And I couldn't get rid of her. And then, like, the thing wasn't covered, and there wasn't a glass in front. She was like, this is gonna take the dust in your house, and you know, you meet all sorts, okay? And then I got a guy who saw this horse and was like, well, it doesn't even look like the horse. And I was like, well, that's not what I heard. So after that, I decided, that's it, I'm not going back. That was my first time doing a market.
What a baptism of fire.
Yeah, so I kind of picked myself up. And again, thanks to my husband and my kids, I went for the second day. And there, it was a huge success, because after, it was kind of, people were passing by my stand, and I was nearly waiting for their reaction at the horse, because it was such a moment. People were like, oh my God, look at that horse. It actually, the photo is not so great there, but when you pass in front of it, you actually think the horse is looking at you, moving, you know. And from this, I got commissions.
I was going to ask you what percentage of your current work is commissions?
It's about 20% commission, and let's say the sales would be 40%. and then the rest will be teaching. Yeah.
I have a German Shepherd called Strummer, who you must do for me sometime. So,
with pleasure.
Yeah, and I'd love you to. So the markets you're currently at, where can we find you around the country?
So my next market will be Slane Castle, hopefully at Christmas, but I sell online on my Instagram page. I have a SumUp e-shop, web shop. I don't have a website yet, but I'm on Instagram and Facebook as Valerie Nowak O'Ceallaigh Artist. I think it's Valerie O'Ceallaigh Artist.
And do you feel that there is a definite career progression? Obviously, it sounds like you put these sort of things in place to make sure you can afford to do the work. You feel like you're in the right direction going forward?
Yes, it's a journey. It took me 2 years to get to this, to actually start earning money. So what I did when I started, because it's really hard when you're doing it and the money is not coming. All you need is one customer to keep you going. And regular or not regular, you need to sell one frame to think, yeah, I'm doing it, it's going. And then it gives you energy to keep going. Because you have to be, in this industry, you have to be so resilient and never give up and have a little talk with yourself if something didn't work. If one door closes, another is going to open. Stand at the next door that's going to open. Knock at the door until it opens. Don't go there, oh my God, it didn't work, I don't know what to do. Look, be ready for the next opportunity, basically. Prepare yourself.
I want some gossip. Within the art world, is everyone very supportive? Is there snobbery from fine artists, about what you do, or is it all one big happy family?
There's a bit of everything. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's the real world, and my page is showing also we're in the real world. There are people who can be snobbed because they have been doing it for years and years and years and have experience. But when I'm at that level, I hope I will be. When I am at that level, I will need to learn from the younger generations.
And there are younger felters coming through, are there?
Exactly, because new techniques come all the time, new ideas. I have one other piece, if we can change the slide, that was in an exhibition, and I was thinking this is not going to go down well, it's a bit too out there, And it actually, this one. This one is actually, that was in an exhibition in the visitor center in the Phoenix Park. And I was terrified of putting it because in the exhibition, people had lovely garments, lovely hats, lovely frames. And I come with this. And they were like, well, what is this? And this piece is actually a 3D piece. And the idea was, the theme of the exhibition was opposites attract. So this is called a circle in a square. And to actually see it, you actually need to take your phone, put the light on, and look inside. And when you're inside, you will see all the colors. So that's what I'm talking about. When I'm like really at the top of my game, I will look for the next generation.
Your work is wonderfully diverse, I have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lovely. I'd love to talk all day, because I find this fascinating.
Thank
Please,
you.
Valerie, how fascinating.
Thank you.